Morning, teach me. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, everyone? Good morning. Just took a little scalp. A little scalp here. I took basically off of 25% of the hourly candle here. And then we got a 5-minute swing down off of it. We had a little 30-second breaker here. I just took that to the low, trimmed some, and just went to break even to see if we could catch something on the open, but we just came back to break even there. So like a little $40 scalp going into open. But what I'm thinking here, good morning, Fran. One second, phone's ringing. There we go. All right. So obviously we know that previous day high was going to be on the menu, right? Because of a Friday's close. You know, we put in a daily swing down there. Low hanging fruit is obviously this. You can sit here and be like Leppyrd, obviously, and we close right there. Of course, we're going to. But this is going to be the key. How do we close today? Like in terms of the rest of the week, do we put in a daily swing up here? If we do, I think we head right back down the rest of the week. But what I'm watching right now, basically, we had nothing really clear in London. We have a this 4 hour barely closed above here, but we also you got to it's like kind of a 50-50 sign here. We hit that 4 hour Cibi order block, and we close well below it. You know, it's almost like a swing, but it's not because we did not close back above or back below there. So just I personally didn't really take anything in Asia. In London, I took a little something, but that really doesn't matter because I usually wait for 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. if I'm going to take anything for London. I want to see some kind of 4 hour swing put in at that time. And then I'm looking for expansion, but you see here it was just an hourly inside candle, so not much in terms of that. But if you go down to your hourly, it becomes a little more clear here. You put it in hourly swing up here, and then and then obviously your pullback started here. So what I'm watching right now going into open, I'm 50-50 because I do know that we have this untapped VI that we missed up here. So um, but still leaning more bearish here, simply because of this hourly Cibi. Basically, we filled it on ES and NQ, and we closed back below it here, as well as we have now put in a 5-minute breaker here. Up here would be the 5-minute breaker. But you're getting an hourly swing off of 50% of London, which could mean that we have some kind of continuation down here. When you're rejecting 50% of London, we know that it's a pretty key area. But the big thing for me, like always, is just going to be waiting for that 10 o'clock candle to form. Right. I want to see. Let's see how this 10-hour candle. This a 10-hour. Let's see how this hourly candle forms at 10 o'clock and go from there. If this hourly candle closes bearish like this, I am at 10 o'clock. I am looking for boom, and I'm looking for down after that. Now, if we close back up inside, we're either looking at chop or we can target back to the high up here. Depends if we put in a 5-minute breaker on the lows here. If we can sweep that low and we can 10 o'clock closes way up here, then maybe there's a 5-minute breaker. We can look for a retest going back to a London 50. But right now, London 50 being respected. And that's nothing that I really want to personally fade until proven otherwise with my hourly candle closes. In terms of the 4 hour, you'll see the same thing here. But what I don't like is that we do not have a 4 hour swing down here. This low to me is still low hanging fruit. Like I don't like to see any kind of full on reversal without some kind of swing where where we will come back for this. So yeah, we'll see what we'll see what open gives us, and we'll go from there at 10 o'clock. But for now, leaning more bearish. We'll Also, we'll pay attention to our -4 down there and see where that lines up in terms of any kind of liquidity targets. So it's going to be a pretty big range today with a -4. Yeah, it's going to be about 200. It's going to be about 300 points down. And there's our dump. It was right on the short. Just got stopped to break even there. Obviously trim some, but yeah. So what I was looking at there was simply this. So you just see we came back up to retest that breaker. Uh, Basically, this was the breaker I was short here a few minutes ago. Well, why was I short that? Well, you end up with a 5 minute swing sitting up here, right? You had a 5 minute. You try to get bullish there. You try to get bullish on this 9-10 candle. All you do is take the high and close back below. That's your sign right there. And as soon as that breaker gets put in, that's your sign that you can look for continuation shorts, at least back to that low. But there goes that 4 hour low. Just goes to show, like, I don't like to see, if I'm looking for a reversal, I have got to see some kind of sweep and a close back inside the range. If we reverse with just a down candle like this, and this low isn't go, we you'll notice, you can watch on the 5 minute today, like we will come back for it like 90% of the time. So it's better just to have some kind of swing, some kind of swing down there. This will be interesting though to see how does the hourly close. Like, does the 4 hour sweep to slow and close back up inside, and also, will the hourly do the same thing? If so, then I'm okay looking for longs. But right now I'm seeing 50% of London being respected, and if you don't know, 50% of London is a very, very, very strong level in terms of allowing trend or things of that nature. But yeah, let's check out ES quick. Yeah, pretty much the same thing for ES. So we do have a little SMT on this low. We'll go from there. What's old gold doing? Gold is ripping. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of gold here because you see we had an hourly swing here. So we left an hourly low down here, hourly low here, just kind of in the middle here for gold. So for now, just stick to NQ. We'll check out Natty real quick. Natty gas. So Natty gas, just 2 inside candles on this hourly. So you should see inside these candles don't matter to me. What matters to me is how do we close with this candle here, right? That'll be the key sign for NG. I'm cool with either on NQ, but to get bullish, I've got to see some bullishness on the hourly here. The only way I'm getting bullish on NQ is if this hourly candle can close back up inside of here. Right. To me, it doesn't matter. I can get in line with a price in either direction, just simply waiting on my hourly close, and then following whatever that tells me here. Like, I can have a guess for a fun, but I'm not going to trade just based off of we're going to react and not predict. Well, this will be interesting if we get this 5 minute breaker here. This is what I'll be watching now. If we'll see if we put in a failed breaker here, or if we're going to a close above. If we can close back above here and you're getting a 5 minute breaker back to the upside, then you're looking for. Otherwise, we're just going to put in a failed breaker and then can continue lower. But a 5 minute breaker after a good hourly sweep like that could be your sign that this thing's ready to actually reverse here. But if we're going to come up here and just fail to put in a breaker, it's got to close above this candle. But you'll see sometimes we'll come all the way back up, sweep what should be or what could be the breaker candle, and then all we'll do is we'll continue right back down. So that's why your sign here will be if we can get this 4 hour breaker. But yeah, we do have that SMT dot on that 4 hour low. That we do. Hmm. Oh, it's a monthly. I'm like, well, that does not look like the weekly. That does not look like the weekly thing. So the other thing that makes me bearish for this week is simply this: you know, you have a weekly that closed below previous week's low from the last week of January, and then you have so you do not have a swing point on the weekly candle down here. We all know, you know, we all know where this thing bounced on Friday. We bounced right off CE of this wick. But we usually you're not going to see a full on reversal off of a CE of a wick. And exactly what I said on Friday, where it's usually just what sends you to some kind of 50% retracement. And if you can look at this whole daily swing, you can see right now where are we rejecting at hourly SIBI, 4 hour SIBI, right at that 50% mark of that daily candle. That's why I think shorts can still be on here. But again, not predicting. We'll just react. Yeah, that too, Marshall. That too. Everybody enjoy the Super Bowl? I believe we have what CPI and NFP this week. I know we have NFP on Wednesday. Obviously not much today. Doesn't mean I'm not trading today though. Mondays tend to be my best day, but for Super Bowl, yeah, it's just boring. Yeah. All right, so let's see if let's see if we put in a breaker here. So this could be something where if let me get rid of this for now. There we go. Clears the charts up a little bit. So if 10 o'clock wants to give us this breaker, this SMT breaker, and the hourly closes bullish back on ES and NQ, this is a breaker that I'm looking to take long. So that would be where I'm looking for some kind of continuation here. And then you see it'll also line up with basically I love to long and get long at these previous hourly opens. So basically what you're looking for is, you know, so just for example, because I just see this here, we have an hourly swing candle down right here, right? So I would be leaning bearish here. I'm looking to get short right around the open of that candle, right? You know, like right inside of here, right where the wick starts. So if this is a bullish breaker, the open is going to be right here. So I'm going to be looking for the next candle to give me a little manipulation down, and then we're going to look for continuation back up. That's if we have the breaker there. Yeah, just probably put those levels back on to see if there we go. And like I'm not looking to get long. I don't want to long until 10 o'clock. I would be looking for price to either chop up inside of here or do something significant. And then at 10 o'clock, what I want to see is open, manipulation, get long, take it back up to 8 a.m. high, midnight, London highs, and whatever else. Then I'm in line with what the hourly candles telling me. I have a breaker to confirm that hourly low should be safe down here, and then I'm in line with time as well with manipulation coming down. Just looking to get inside of what should be the hourly wick, and then take it long. That's where like I have no FOMO here. I have nothing. Just watching this. Reversal without an FEG. Yeah, yeah. Morning, Compound. Good morning. Good morning. Morning, YouTube. What's ES doing here? I like this because I do think is like I said, I was looking for downside just because of what the hourly was telling me, which means we took that low. So now so now I don't care. Like I know I can have a reversal off of this 4 hour because this would be a very good 4 hour close here. The other thing would be, do we get a 15-minute breaker? Basically, it's if we can close over 8 a.m. high. Your target should be, oh, I like that the overnight high. 7 p.m. high is up here. Oh no. Okay, so for those that don't know, it's very rare. It's like a 2% time. It's like a 2% chance. Today. I'm gonna say it, and it's gonna be the day that it doesn't happen. But uh, 7 p.m. has like a 2% chance of being low or a high of day. So this would be something to watch up here. I like that -4 lines up there with it. If I can get long down inside of here somewhere, uh, and target -4 and that 7 p.m. high, it could be you could have a nice long on your hands, and then maybe leave a runner for I'll be out of at -4, but so it's 385 is that VI, which is probably right where -4 sits, maybe a little bit lower. Yeah. So like that's how I use -4 for the ones that were asking like over the weekend. Just kind of align it with what kind of liquidity target it can maybe give you some kind of idea. As long as your higher time frame candles are telling you should go in that direction, use it as a confluence. No SMT. Oh, we do have an SMT on 8 o'clock high now. So there you go. ES sweeps 8 a.m. low and 8 a.m. high. But we did get the breaker. We did get the breaker here on the 5 minute. But me personally, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for that 10-hour candle to close. I'm not afraid of this pumping. If this wants to pump all the way before 10 o'clock, then that's fine. It's not. I don't think it's going to. But wait, ES is ripping. Good sign. Good sign. Question is, can we get involved? So this could turn into a little 5 minute unicorn here. So this is your breaker. This would be your unicorn. So any kind of entry I could look for out of here would be like, you can either just get long, which it's not, the risk ain't bad here, and then you can look for maybe like a 5 minute swing. So you look for something along the lines of, a 5 minute sweeps the low. You close back inside. You can look for a lower time frame breaker to use that as an entry, or you can just get long there. It just depends on your risk tolerance. The other thing is, how does this 5 minute candle close? Does this candle close above this? You're gonna notice that your best fair value gaps are your ones that have expansion candle. I don't care about the first candle, but if you have expansion candle and then another expansion candle, expansion just meaning it closes above the candle that made the FEG. These are going to be much better fair value gaps to take. Why? Because this is telling me price wants to go higher. So it's fair value gaps that have like a swing candle in here. So basically, where this candle, where our current candle would sweep this high, close back inside, and then make the fair value gap, you could be longing into some kind of reversal. But again, it still comes down to context and your the higher time frame. But I've just me personally, I've something I've just noticed. You're Now, if this candle sweeps and closes back inside, what's my first target? My first target's this 5 minute low, which happens to be what my 5 minute unicorn sitting here. Good close on a 15-minute. Yep. So the SMT on 8 a.m. high is gone. I'm assuming ES already tapped midnight. Nope, it missed midnight. ES is struggling to close over. Another thing to pay attention to is how does the 5 minute react at my hourly highs? Uh, Not the best sign here. It doesn't mean we're going all, it doesn't mean we're going down. Just obviously showing weakness here. I want to see this thing close over that 8 a.m. high and not sit here and reject. Because if we're gonna sit here and reject, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back to 50% of this entire swing, which is okay because maybe that's where we can get involved. Ripping it, ripping it. So did we get that? We did not get a 15-minute breaker here, or basically a 15-minute CISD, which basically I guess we did get a 15-minute CISD here. So yeah, if we can get some kind of dip inside of, we put in a 15 here combined with a 5, I think any kind of long down here is going to be good. Looking for an 80 at 5 points. I mean, why don't you just wait for a midnight 5 points? Sheesh. Did ES give us a close? Still not close over that 8 a.m. high. What up, A1? I did not check my did not check the 30-second range on Natty today. Still in the backtesting stages of this. We got to check it out and see if we bounce from -2, or how did we react at it. Looks like probably didn't. Oh my gosh, that's the Natty 30-second candle. Yes, this thing's probably pushed up to a -2. All right, we'll keep it there. I do want to watch that today. I've never seen a candle that big on Natty though at open. All right, Hildago, I see you. All right, now get off the charts. 15. I mean, yeah, we no reason we shouldn't push to midnight. Like even if we don't, like 10 o'clock opens and we don't get a dip down to here, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean we can't get involved. It all depends where this 10 o'clock candle closes for me. Yeah. ES might already be. ES is strong. It's a little bit lower, so it's not nearly as close to a London as NQ. So yeah, so we'll look for. Like I said, it just depends. Where does 10 o'clock close? Where does 10 o'clock close? If it closes up here, then I'm looking for a little dip to get long. And then what I'll do is I'll fib out this bad boy, and we'll look at it this way. And I'll look like, okay, where's my 50% takes me back down to that hourly open, which we know is about where that breaker sits, or 0.75. Where if NQ's going to be in a hurry, we could get a bounce just straight out of here. You're basically back right tapping the what will be potentially the 15-minute breaker. The key is I will wait for some kind of 5-minute swing to tell me price is ready to reverse. That's the key here. I'm not just going to long some random level. I'm going to wait for the 5 minute to tell me that it's ready to reverse back up after some kind of dip at 10 o'clock open. Sure did, Doc. I think it was on a mission. All right, so let's see if we go down to the breaker. What are we at? 950. So this is what we're watching right now. Just so probably just a little reaction here off midnight to go rebalance some lower time to rebalance some lower time frame ranges with inside of here. We probably got like a 1 minute 50 or something out of there. But yeah, so we don't put in a swing candle off of midnight. We close with an expansion candle. So I expect this to come back up and take this high. It's not going to be good as if we get a 15-minute candle close like this at 10 o'clock. This could be telling us that we might just start chopping. See why we don't chase here though. See why? Imagine all the people that were chasing here, trying to get up to London highs. Just staying patient and just waiting keeps your ass out of trouble. And now there's 60 points in drawdown. Oh, that's tonight, Hidalgo? Oh, I thought you meant next week. It should be, yeah. Yeah, it should still be around. So for me, it just comes down to what happens. What happens with this old unicorn here? I would be more convinced of a dump happening here if we had an SMT. But let's see. So that was ES just coming back up too. But remember how I said ES? I did not like how it was not closing over that 8 a.m. high. We're probably gonna get a 50%. There you go. Let's, and I wish this was like 10 o'clock open up here, and then this was our dip. This would be perfect. So now I want to see, how does this 5 minute candle close? Does it close inside of this fair value gap, or does it close way down inside of it? If it does, then I'm expecting the next candle to at least sweep that low. But if this candle, what tells me we could have this could be the sweet spot to get long, is what if we have this candle hits the 5 minute unicorn here, and it closes back up inside that previous 5 minute candle. That gives me a swing, and then I can go to like a 30-second 1 minute to then frame some kind of long where I'm potentially getting long up here, and my stop's just right here. Instead of longing this randomly and being like, oh my god, my stop's all the way down here. Yeah, I think so too, Cash. I think so too. I mean, I don't like how this 15 is potentially going to close here, but I'm okay with. Let's see how this thing closes. Closes back up inside. You might have something here. All right, so I don't like. So it closes right at it. Nice. Okay. There's gonna be a 30-second breaker. So there's no 5 minute swing here, right? We close back up. We close back up inside of there, and we close back above that unicorn. It's we cannot find a breaker here though. I'm not a big fan of taking a trade before 10 o'clock. I'd much rather wait till 10. But we do have an SMT 126. See how we react here. I don't think this is an awful 30-second. I just don't like the time. That thing's gonna go, I think. Let's see. And yeah, it could bring back that 15-minute here. What I was hoping for is I want to see like 10 o'clock open here. We go down and tap that, but which means like we don't like 10 o'clock at open here, and then we could re-sweep this low, but there's an SMT, so we don't have to. And then our 10 o'clock dip could just be something in line with these candles where it's here, just back to some kind of like lower time frame fair value gap inside of here, and then push back higher. But like if like this setup was right at 10, I'm all about it. All about it. We're just kind of chopping here now. Chopping here. What do we got? 2 minutes until 10 o'clock. And then for me, this is just a 5 minute inside candle that I really don't care about, right? But I don't like that. Oh, no, disregard. We had a 5 minute swing here, so this could still be it. What'd I do? Oh. Let's see. Breaker's holding. You in this, Doc? Not yet. Yeah. We'll see if we make. Remember, like in terms of you have a 5 minute swing, a 30-second breaker. I would expect this 5 minute load to be safe at least until the next 5 minute candle. Right. Same way I look at the higher time frame as well. Right now, it's just kind of sloppy. Oh, you took trade to RTH. Got it. Nice. All right. 10 o'clock is we've already been a minute into 10 o'clock. All right, so let's see where we're at here. We're already at 25%, but we know we have a bullish hourly swing here. So for me, I'm not trying to short anything here. If it wants to do a dump, I don't care. If it wants to dump, I'll just watch it. But 10 o'clock, we don't have much below the open yet, but we are bouncing. Let's see, what are we saying? I want to fib this out a little bit. Yeah, we're basically right at 25. Also want to mark out the open. Remember, we want to see a little manipulation below the open here. That's what we want to see. And then if we get like this same kind of pattern, but now it's 10 o'clock and we have another SMT on this low or something, I'm all about trying it again. Like I said, that we did not have a good 15-minute close though. Like, see how like we're talking about the 15 here. Remember I talk about these levels being the opens being very, very sensitive. You'll see it right there. So we have a green. So our time frames are just not fully aligned here, right? Our hour is saying bullish, our 15 is saying pullback. So like my guess would be we might come see this 15-minute low, right? Why? Because we have a 15-minute swing candle here. But I like this restab below the open. Let's see if we make a fair value gap here. If we make a fair value gap here, I'm gonna try this long. Stop below this low. It's about a 40-point stop, so about 2 MQ, 2 or 3 MQ here. All right, so we're gonna have a limit sitting here at 133 or so. Basically right at that fair value gap. Let's see if we can get into a long here. Key don't get chopped up. I think it's worth a shot. SMT, we have an SMT now on those lows, as well as the restab below at the 10 o'clock open. Did not get tagged in there though. Remember, this is the original breaker right here. This is what's holding price, based off of just simply this 5-minute close right here. That's brutal. Oh, no, NQ, come back. GC. NG, take some highs. Anybody get in longs down here? How can we not? How did I not get tagged in there? We just missed it, didn't we? Nice. You guys, what'd you guys take? Just the 30-second breaker? Nice. Love it, Sweaty. Love to see it. It's magic. It's magic. The 1 minute busy, yeah. Remember, what was the first sign there was what? The first sign was this. First sign was us tapping that 5-minute unicorn, closing back up inside there. That shows absolute strength, and then the 30-second confirms it. Granted, there just wasn't time yet, right? Like, we just did not get an entry. That sucks. That sucks. But yeah, London should be your draw. See how just waiting for your hourly candle to like kind of tell you what's gonna happen, and then you can use your hourly candle for direction. Use your 5-minute. Wait for a 5-minute swing to get into the direction that your hourly candle is telling you. It can be that simple. Yep, that too. A trades that too. Like, because this thing's going to be in a hurry here. I would imagine -4, and the overnight highs up there at 7 p.m. will be our potential draw here. But like, just because just missed this one doesn't mean we can't still get involved here, right? Like, so I would expect your 10 a.m. lows should be in. How else can we get into this now? Okay, if we get a 5-minute fair value gap here, or some kind of fair value gap, and we get some kind of dip, and then we get some kind of 5-minute swing back up. Same thing like this, right? You tap into a fair value gap, close back above. You can look for a lower time frame breaker to get into that trend continuation. You can also do the same thing that I like to do on the hourly candles. Right, it's like when I just fib them out. You can fib out your 5-minute your 5-minute expansion candles, and you'll see expansion from those levels as well. The hourly boner, yeah, we might get one. We might get one because now we're just so far away from the open. I would expect that should solidify that your 10 o'clock low is in. We just missed London. Are you guys sweaty? You still in? You going for what are you going for here? Obviously, your first target should have been 9 a.m. high, but obviously with London sitting just above. Wow, ES -4 is just right at London high. You going for 220? Yesterday's high of day. What do you mean yesterday's high of day? Teach me your longs at 131. Nice. Yeah, basically it's a good spot. It was a good spot to get long. Yeah, because we did make a 1 minute breaker there, but typically I like to look for that 30-second breaker off of that 5 minute. And I'm not one that sits here on the 30-second chart a lot, right? I just sit here more on the 5 minute. You only go to 30-second when I'm looking for that lower time frame entry based off a some kind of 5 minute swing. Remember, just always beware of this. That was a good lesson on NQ when it was failing to close above that 8 a.m. high. Uh, if you see it struggling like that, I've almost kind of got a model developed where that like you can look to take it to 25% or 50%. But let's see. What I think could be a good long is let's see how this 5 minute candle closes. I want to see strength through London here. I would prefer to see this 5 minute candle close back up above London here. So if we can close like above London, come back down here, tap midnight, basically back into the order block. This previous high. If there's some kind of 5 minute swing here. Look for this same setup right here, and then try to get long, targeting, the overnight highs up there. And remember, if we are bearish on the week, which for now I still am, this is what I want to see. I want to see Monday, Tuesday do a little manipulation higher, and then push, and then Wednesday and rest of the week, then push back down. Like this level, this weekly VI is probably a good spot as well. Is that where that? Okay, it's just above where that daily one is. So it makes sense. That would make sense to me. That would be almost the start of OTE as well, of this daily swing. Monday, Tuesday, look for Tuesday, Wednesday, high of week up here, and then expansion down. In terms of OHLC, simply because of what this previous week is telling me, right? So exactly what happened last week. What happened last week? We had a weekly sweep here. Remember we just apply this to every single time frame. But you last week we had a weekly sweep. Where we closed back inside. So what happened? So the week before we had the weekly sweep. Sorry, we closed back inside. So what does that mean? I'm looking for Monday, Tuesday to push up higher. What happened? Tuesday high of week right at 50% of this wick above that previous week open. And then if this is a 5 minute chart, this is where I'm looking to get short. So why would I not look to get short if this is the weekly chart? It's how you can kind of frame your weekly profiles. This thing's really slowing down here. Let's check gold. Gold took London, and gold's kind of slow here. Here, though, looks like gold's holding 25. Yeah, could almost look for a potential gold long here. If this 5 minute wants to close bullish here, basically back above the range of these two, basically above these two candles. I think gold. You could look for a same setup on gold. I would say gold. You would want to see it close back above here, and get a bullish breaker. Sorry, not there. It would be these candles, and you get a bullish breaker here on gold. And I think that would be your shot for a long. And then you're trading a 30-second breaker along with a 5 minute swing. But obviously, your 5 minutes not going to give you that right here. So disregard that. We'll go back to NQ. Nice. No, I'm sure. Yeah, it wasn't probably not the funnest. Yeah, that was a little. That drove you nuts if you were inside of that. But That's where you just gotta have conviction. Be like, okay, even if this comes back down and sweeps the low, I can still look for another long off it, as long as I get like a 5 minute confirmation. Sometimes we will come back down and sweep this breaker, sweep the low, and then you'll get the real move, and I'll take it again. Like I mean it happens quite a bit. So like I said, I would still be anything else for target wise. It's got to be -4 and that 7 p.m. high. I don't see anything else that would slow this thing down right now. Obviously, you have a little fair value gap here. I really don't care about this. This might do all this is going to do is give you some kind of retrace. Some kind of 50% retrace, even if it does. ES going to be at -4 soon. Remember, ES takes London as well. Then if ES takes London as well, then you have no SMT there. That just tells you everything you need to know. See if this 5 minute can get a close above here. Yep, that's where I like to. That's why I like to go to that lower time frame A trades and take a lower time frame setup inside of that 5 minute candle, because then you always have a clear stop. Like if I took that 30-second breaker, my stop was real easy. It was at this 5 minute low. It's pretty decent stop. And that way you're not sitting here. Oh, we gotta go. We could go all the way down here, and I don't know where my stop should be. No, that makes it plain and simple. If it stops me out, I'll wait for another 5 minute candle to tell me this could be the remove, and then get long again. It's better than sitting here just buying a random level. Yeah. Let me look on ES. What did ES do? ES actually closed below. You're talking no inside of here. Yeah, that's a lot for ES. Yeah, I wouldn't have liked any entries there on ES. To be fair, actually want to look. Yeah, let's go back to NQ. Otherwise, we have the -4 that we could potentially take. Where's our trigger at for -4? 358 puts me at 343.25. Ain't gotta worry about that for a little bit, but remember, this could be another way you can like kind of anticipate expansion is your 4 hour is your 4 hour wick too, right? Small wick, big expansion, big wick, little expansion. So you're looking at a small little wick here with a W on the 4 hour chart. So you could have just straight expansion back up higher here. So like everything supports expansion here. So like if I'm long, I'm not selling anything until like that 7 p.m. high. Question is, how can we try to get into this? 15-minute BISI perhaps. ES has not taken London yet, but it's going to. Like I said, missed the entry down here if you came in late, but hopefully you guys take something out of this though. There's a ton of value that happened right here that you can take with you and inform your own model and just go on your way. Yep. It's definitely going higher for any for sure. Because I mean, it's already 10:20, and you're this far away from the hourly open. The likelihood that this candle's going down is not is not good, unless you come back to chop. But I don't, that's not going to happen. There's a reason we have a small wick on the hourly right here. You're looking for that big expansion. Your 4 hour and your hourly is both telling you. Anybody have any questions while we're watch? Appreciate that, Aaron. Usually live stream for free, like two to three times a week. Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, it's probably better to join the Discord because it's actually live there and it's the same cost as YouTube, free. But it's actually live instead of the 10-second delay that you get on YouTube. Some days I like to just sit back and enjoy the charts myself, though, Fran. Sometimes I do, or sometimes I'm busy and I just don't like being held to a schedule, which is why I got rid of the. I know you want me to. I know what you're saying, but like when I was doing it every single day, it was like some days I just didn't want to. Like it just I don't like being held to a schedule. And if trading profitably already, I don't I don't have to sit here and run a paid Discord. Yeah, yeah, let's do it. You can do it you can do that any day, for any day. All right, so we'll see how this 5 minute candle closes. If this 5 minute candle wants to close bearish like this, good chance we get a little pullback. Right? Appreciate it, Cash. Appreciate it. Yeah, I closed the paywall on the. I closed. I didn't close down the Discord, but I took the paywall off, and it was just a nice mental break. And then I was like, I missed the people. I missed the people. I missed the trading community. But I just wanted to be on my watch, on my schedule. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so we'll see how this 5 minute candle closes. Nothing I'm gonna short. But if this is where if I'm in a long, I can expect a little turbulence. I can expect some kind of pullback here because I'm seeing 5 minute weak. I'm seeing 5 minute weakness here, right? So maybe this is an opportunity where we could potentially strike. I think on the 1 minute there's like a little dealing range here. So yeah, so I'll look see if price to hold like basically inside of this area. Deep OTE here. ES took 7 Asia high. Yeah. Wouldn't Asia high be 8 p.m. unless my charts are wrong? I think my charts are right? This would be 8. Oh, yeah, I guess we did. Didn't look like it from over here, but yeah. That explains it. A little pullback here. What is the average? Oh. All right, so we could potentially get a 5 minute swing here. Right. I don't want to. I'm not gonna long here. I don't want to long with a 5 minute down close candle like this with an open low right here. So for me to potentially get long here, I can look at a sweep of this 5 minute low. Maybe we hit midnight, and then this 5 minute this five minute candle we're currently creating right now closes back inside here, and then maybe there's like a little entry inside of here, and then look at that. Our stops, we know we're going for a 7 p.m. high, and our stops will be something along the lines like this. This is like best case right now, but we can look for something like that. Or I mean, first TP would always be when I'm entering in a trend like this. First TP is always back at that swing high, but so that would be first one, and then you try to take it up to whatever else you think here. So. And it's basically a retest of 9 a.m. high, midnight. Yeah, it's like a 5 minute swing off of midnight here. I don't think it is a bad trade. It'll look just like this one for the most part. So while that's happening, I'm going to go grab some water quick, and I'll be right back. Mike the Barbarian, what's up? What's up? Taking any trades today? Anything yet? You don't have to answer either. I don't mean to call you out. Oh, does it say invalid on the YouTube? Oh, appreciate that, Monty. Appreciate that. What else we got here? So we're just blasted through midnight here. Oh, we got a little VI down here. Yeah. Where's 50 of this entire range sit? So we just tapped 50. We still got a minute and a half. Now, if this candle goes all the way back up here, that's your long all day. Otherwise, if this candle closes below, then we just sit out and we wait for the next 5 minute candle. I never get long. You'll never see me long when I have when I have a down candle, when I have an expansion candle like this or this that closes down here and doesn't take, and then the next candle doesn't. Always have a position. Only enter your positions with some kind of swing. It's sometimes you're going to have a candle open, here, and then we won't take this and we'll go all the way back up. That's okay, but that's just the rule that I like to do to stick to it, and it keeps me, it just it keeps. I feel like you have a much better opportunity of your trade playing out if you wait for that swing. That's what I want to see, though. I want to see this. Let's see if we can make some kind of. It's not really a good breaker in here. There's a 15-second. I guess the 15-second would just be this 30-second doji. But we're not gonna get the close. So I can anticipate the price wants to come back to this low. Does it have to? Nope. If this candle closes here and starts ripping, I'm not chasing it. I have no context to chase it. I want to see a sweep, a close to confirm. I always trade on side of I always trade with 5 minute confirmation. Always, always. Uh, no trades. Okay, making sense though, Mike. Making some sense here. I hope. Sorta. Okay. Well, if you have any questions, shout them out. This is the time. Right. So it's not like okay. So I should clarify something. Just because we do not take this low, which it doesn't look like we're going to. I go I so like I will go off the next 5 minute candle that takes that high or a low. So what I'm looking for now is what does this candle do with this five minute high? Does it close above? If so, then I'm just looking for a continuation, and I know we'll be back at a later date for this low, and then maybe I can look for some kind of expansion, some kind of long setup off of this 5 minute candles 25 or 50%. Um, so, but like, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not, like just because I have this low here doesn't mean I'm bearish. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna long. I just need that five. So my new 5 minute confirmation would be this candle closing bullish. It's like okay, now I have reason where I can now try to get in long. 80 EMA, nice. 80 EMA. Looks like they hit 50 too. So the 88 EMA was at 50. I like it. I like it. Hell of a confluence. Did we make a 1 minute? Yeah, we made a little 1 minute busy here. Now, what happens if this 5 minute candle closes bear? So I should go over that, which I don't think is going to happen. But if this five minute candle closes back below, if it sweeps this 5 minute high and then closes back inside of here, I'm expecting the next five minute candle to do what? To expand back down to this low, and that would keep me bearish for this low. Don't get annoyed, BMAC. Do not get annoyed. When you get annoyed, that's when you start to like get that FOMO, that anticipation. It just just let it go. Just let it go. There's plenty of opportunities. It's only Monday. You should be proud of yourself that you're just sitting. That you're just sitting on your hands here. ES is way stronger now. Yeah, ES is ready for that 7 p.m. high. That's where it's -6 sits as well. Yeah, ES is much stronger here. Don't think about a pink elephant? What is that cryptic for? Time is it? 10:35. All right. So everyone's so so for me now, like I'm not really trying to enter, between 30 after the hour and a new hour. Now, if there's a good setup, there's a good 5 minute swing or something in there, sure. It's but only if I'm like trending like this. But so the next opportunity for me is going to be probably 11 o'clock here. What am I going to do? Going to look for we're going to look for that continuation model. That continuation model is just this low to whatever the high is here. For now, it's here. I'm going to look for price to open. I'm going to look for price to dip to 25 or 50. Look for that same 5 minute swing setup that we had on, where that 30-second breaker was this morning, where we started ripping. Look for that same thing, and then I can get long. That's basic continuation model there. I remember, like, sometimes, like, if the next candle is going to expand, we won't even get to 25%, right? Because we're gonna do like what we did here. We put in a small wick, and then expand. So sometimes we don't get to that 25. You just got to kind of like judge it on when and where do I get that 5 minute swing. And if I get that five minute swing, I'm not just gonna long that I'm not just gonna long that 5 minute swing. I want to see the 30-second breaker inside of that 5 minute swing, and then I have and then I have my confirmation to then get long. So right now, like, and then so what I want to do is I want to fib out that hourly candle and then go to my 5 minute, my 15, and see what kind of aligns there. I see here I have a nice 5 minute order block coming in hot, and I'm gonna have a nice 5 minute BISI. So if this BISI is like untapped coming into 11 o'clock, I'm looking for price to dip inside of that bit inside of this BISI, and this is where I'm targeting to get long the same thing that happened down here. Basically, this same setup right here. And then I still have -4 above. I still have 7 p.m. high. I still have plenty of targets to get long. And then I'm also trading. And then what? I'm trading in line with the hourly candle. The hourly candle is closing way up here. Nothing that I want to short. Closing that high is telling me what price obviously wants something else that's to the left, which in this case is probably the daily VI, 7 p.m. and good old -4 sitting up there. And if it wants to rip up to a -4 before 11 o'clock, great for the people that are in longs. But I mean, but I'm not gonna say I won't sit here and chase it either. There'll be more opportunities. Maybe we short it at 11 o'clock, or we'll find something else as well. So but hopefully that makes sense. So now it's not. I'm just looking. I'm just waiting. I might take a if we can get something out of this 5 minute before 11. Like I said, I usually don't like to take anything 30 after the hour, but only when we're trending will I take something after 30 after the hour. Why? Because if I'm trying to trade some kind of a reversal pattern after 10:30, I'm likely wrong, right? Because if I'm looking at it this way, obviously we have very 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 small manipulation today, but like if my opens here, my manipulations here, and my distributions here, and it's 10:30 and we're somewhere in here, you're fading that candle's distribution after 10:30. After 10:30, the hourly candle should already be into some kind of a distribution, unless you hit obviously some kind of major sell side, and maybe it's pulling back at that point to then give you the hourly swing, to then show you some kind of a reversal pattern going into the next hour off of that sell side or that buy side. We're gonna have a pretty big SMT up there. I'll put an alert. So for me, it'll be like like it's gonna be so like coming into what's going to be obviously in SMT on that 7 p.m. high. Basically, what I'll do is like so obviously my hourly is gonna close bullish, most likely. But like if we have that major SMT on that on that 7 p.m. high, I'll go down to like the 15-minute chart and see if I'm getting like a 15-minute swing point down, kind of like what we had here or and I'll be like, okay, well, maybe I don't want to get long yet. I know I have an SMT. Now I have a 15-minute swing point on ES and Q. Maybe I just sit back a minute and wait. Now if the 15 minutes still closing above on NQ, then that's telling me the SMT. I don't care about it, which I don't think that the SMT is going to like send us into a full blown reversal because I think that daily VI that we missed just above 7 p.m. is going to be our actual target today. Inverse the hourly as well. Oh, this hourly, yeah. How and when? So I only like to trade Asia when it's like for some reason last week, like I said, I'm not sure if it was silver or what it was, but only like the trades only because like last week Asia was so clean. Like Asia was like respecting and doing and have it's just clean PA like what we've had of this morning. But it can be tougher though because in Asia and London, you don't know which way Asia's like, especially like today. Like coming into today, I avoided Asia last night. Simply because so I came into today obviously expecting previous day high to get hit, right? I mean, but the question is, how is Asia going to open? Is today going to be high of week? We put in a daily swing and then go lower, or was Asia going to open up lower lower last night, put in a daily wick, and then we have expansion up through here. Um, so it just really depends like where I'm aligning with like some kind of daily bias. Last week on Asia was very like I don't want to say easy, but it was easier to have some kind of bias. Why? Because we just had Tuesday. We had Wednesdays close below. We had a daily swing on Tuesday. So right here, what would I be expecting going into Tuesday? I'm expecting Asia London to push higher, and I'm expecting this daily low to a go. So I'm expecting Asia to open. I'm expecting to put in some kind of wick and then go lower. Next day, same thing, right? Wednesday closes below Tuesday, so I'm expecting this daily low. I'm expecting Wednesday's low to be the target. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting Asia London to manipulate higher. Look for some kind of hourly or a 4 hour swing during London. Which if you go back, you'll see we got those swings at like 3 a.m. and then you look for continuation back down. So like Asia in London, I would like last week was clear. I could look for longs until like the middle of a London where I would be looking for price to then always be thinking of your higher time frame candles and in terms of that OHLC OLHC and where you are in forming that daily wick and when where you're expecting that daily candle to distribute for New York. Like And then what was this Thursday? So Thursday was a little different. Thursday was we manipulated down first. So this automatic as soon as we manipulated down first and took the Thursday's low in Asia. What am I expecting? Okay, my daily manipulation is apparently down because we opened up, went down first, and then I can expect manipulation higher. Same thing that I look at on the hourly, right? If we dip first, I'm expecting longs. If we pump first, I'm expecting shorts for that hourly candle. Same thing here, and that's how you can get in line with Asia and London. And then so what happened with that daily low? We had a 4-hour swing, and then if you go inside of here, there's that 15-minute breaker that you should see that I posted all over X, that kind of confirmed that this 4-hour swing was true, and a Friday should have been some kind of a pump day. But like last night, I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, so do we open up and dip first? And it does, because I can see us push higher first. Why? Because I'm bearish on the weekly, but if I'm bearish on the weekly, that means Monday to Tuesday are probably going to be some kind of up moves, right? Because I have to have some kind of manipulation. I have to put in some kind of a weekly wick up, up here, because our weekly open is going to be down here. So I need to see some kind of weekly wick that's going to tap into 50% of this swing, and then we can frame it based on the daily close. So now if this daily close, if the daily close closes up here today like this, what am I expecting? I'm expecting Asia to open tomorrow. It's either going to take if it takes this high first, I'm expecting down. If we dip first, if Asia opens, say we open here, I'm expecting Asia to dip down. We'll take previous day high, and then I'll go to my 4 hour and wait for some kind of 4 hour swing to maybe say like high of week is in it at that point. But that's how but like I expect if this thing closes bullish, my first target is this daily high, and then how do we react on Tuesday with this daily high? And then if you can understand that and just pay attention to which way Asia and London open, you can then anticipate which way um, New York has a good chance of going. So basically, you're just breaking it down from your higher time frame all the way down to your lower time frame. I mean, does that make sense? That makes sense. It just when it's clear and obvious. I mean, that's that's the short answer for how and when I trade Asia, but I typically don't trade Asia very religiously. Most of the time, you're just asking for a trouble, right, Doc? No, I said most of the time you're just asking for a trouble in Asia. But like last week, it was moving as fast as New York session. The other time, usually Asia's very 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 slow and choppy, and it's hard to get some kind of read. It's just the way the candles move. I think is, but like last week, it was moving like the candles were this morning. They were moving. We were having 200-300 point swings during Asia. Yeah, and the other thing is where you can also going back to like your daily expansion candles, same thing that we look at on the hourly. So where can I anticipate Asia and if I'm expecting down, if I'm expecting downside, you know, Tuesday sweeps Monday, which I bet this is probably what happens this week. But if if Tuesday sweeps if Tuesday sweeps Monday, closes back inside, I'm already expecting. I know we left these relatively equal lows, so these were the obvious target on Wednesday. So what am I? How can I anticipate that manipulation is over in Asia and or London? It's usually a 4 hour swing around that 2 a.m. time. If like I said, if you go back and look, but you also want to fib. Same thing I do with my hourly candles. I want to go and fib my daily candles, and I want to look for usually some kind of hourly SIBI or a 15-minute civvy or an hourly civvy will be sitting at these 25 and 50 levels, and that's 9 times out of 10 is going to be where your like 4 hour swing happens for a London. And so it's basically the same thing that we look at with the hourly, right? We fib the hourly, and we look for some kind of 5 minute continuation or a 5 minute BISI at 25 or 50. Same thing on the daily. You're just looking for an hourly or a 4 hour high. But yeah, ES takes the high there. But yeah, so like if you see here, boom, 25. You fib this, and then the next day. But you're not just going to short these levels, right? You want to wait for that hourly or that 4 hour swing off of these levels though. But just pay attention to your 25s and 50s on expansion candles on any time frame. Very, very, very good. All right, let's get back to the charts because we have 11 o'clock coming up here, and this BISI is still in play. I like that. I like it a lot. I like it. So if we can have some kind of 11 o'clock open here, give us a little dip. That would be a big dip. It'd be about 60-point dip, and then a 5-point swing, something like this out of here. That's your long target -4, and that's how we can get into this continuation here. But hopefully that all makes sense there. Hopefully, anybody have any questions? There was a lot there. All right. We're on 380 call. We on options. I gotcha. All right. So yeah. So ES. Let's pay attention. How does ES go? I would like to see the other thing that I want to see for some kind of confirmation to continue long is I need to see some strength from ES over the side. I do not want to see us just sit here, wick it, and then keep closing back down inside that range. I want to see that expansion here, which I think that we're just so close to -4 here that we probably get up there, but we shall see. Yep, exactly, Cash. That's why. So like that's when like whenever I see something that's has that kind of confluence with a -4, it draws more. It just to me it's even more of a draw. But we're obviously gonna slow down here because ES took that high, so we probably won't get up here till we're probably gonna have to wait until 11 o'clock here, and that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is get ready to fib this bad boy out and see where we're sitting. So we see that 5-minute BISI sits just below 25%. So yeah, any kind of dip into this BISI and then like closing back outside of it, that's your long setup right there. Anybody still long? Sweaty, are you still long? Or anybody catch longs anywhere else? Other than that, like in terms of me, I don't have much where I would have entered. Let's check gold quick. Gold. See, so gold had nice reaction there. What did gold hold there? Really nothing. But you'll see like gold, what happens? Comes down 5-minute BISI around that 25-50% area. And then you could have taken that. right here. So you see you have gold, you have a 5-minute swing here. Actually, it closed below. But I'm assuming you got some kind of 30-second breaker there. So you got like a 30-second breaker. Boom, long. Same setup we just had on NQ. Well, this is what we'll be looking for on NQ. You know, some kind of dip down to 25, 50, that 5-minute, go down to 30-second, finding a breaker, and get long. That's our continuation model coming up. Hopefully it doesn't just rip. Although we'd like to get a little chunk of the pie here. The 1 minute, did he take it? With that? Oh. Man, that's a huge stop. So you would enter at 55, and your stop could be potentially about 60 points or so. No, it worked though. It worked. But it's like, what did we? I guess what we hit. We didn't really hit anything. I guess we just hit the. We just hit the 4 hour. But anyway, we aren't focused on inverts here. So, but yeah, that sounds like him. Any thoughts on red folder days this week? No trade days. Those would be the best days. I think we should have a great week because of CPI and NFP. You can't hear me, crypto. Obviously, if you can't hear me, then I guess. Yeah. But all right, so let's see if we get up to -4. Remember, we can also have a -4 play here too. So best case, which I don't know how this would work, but best case, not best case, but like we have 11. We tag this, and we know on -4 we're looking for some kind of retrace off of -4 here. Like I'm saying, like we hit 11 o'clock, and then our trigger acts as our hourly manipulation. But this 5-minute BISI might be out of it's a would be a 100-point dip now. Oh, nice, Cisco. Nice to meet you. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something today. I know I missed the entry here. I know I missed it, but I just did not get tagged in on here. We talked about longs out of here the entire time, just basically the 5-minute swing out of there, and then going over the hourly swing. So we had the hourly swing here. 5-minute breaker confirmed that long should be the only thing that we look for out of this 5-minute unicorn, and then I guess I just hesitated. I hesitated on that 30-second breaker. I guess I hesitate on that 30-second breaker because of time. Now, if this was happening, if like 10 o'clock open was like here, like it was just the timing was very, very weird for me. We made that breaker at 9:56, so I would have loved to see like 10 o'clock open here and make that breaker, and then we get a little dip, and then we can try to get inside of there some way. But the timing was just a little bit off, and that's okay. But it's still great to see it work. And you guys still get to see it. Basically, it was just a 5-minute swing. Inside of that 5-minute swing, we made a 30-second breaker, which confirms that low or high of that 5-minute candle should be in. All right, so we have 11 o'clock coming up here. About what 40 seconds, and we'll see what we get. Gotta pay attention. So I also want to do what? I want to fib out my higher time frame candle like this. And now I have this little 5-minute BISI sitting at 25. Yep, it might be SAV. It might be. That's what you want to look for your fib your hourly candle out, and then look for your lower time frame fair value gaps, order blocks, something along the lines there. That's probably where we're going to manipulate to. Right, we're not interested in any shorts here, just because of obviously the hourly candle close is super bullish like that. Um, Now, the interesting thing will be what if we the 11 o'clock candle can still be bullish here. Like my first target is obviously just these highs and obviously the previous hour high. Now what could frame some kind of potential reversal here? Not saying it's going to happen, but like um if we have like no manipulation below here and we go up first, there's a chance that our hourly manipulation is going to be up, and then this 11 o'clock hourly candle is going to close back inside the range, and then we could probably look for shorts back down 50% of this move down, or this move up. But that's what um but that's what, like, you just got to go by which way does your manipulation happen in your hour. But for me, like, I'm only looking for these highs. I'm at least expecting the previous hour high to go, and obviously -4 and that 7 p.m. high. But can manipulation happen up first? Yep, yep. It sure can, because this hourly candle is telling me that price wants something higher, which could absolutely be this. So can we manipulate to that and then have some kind of distribution down the rest of the hour? We definitely can, right? It just comes down to context. Maybe you get some kind of 15 minutes swing off of these highs, like the 15-minute fails to close here, and then you have a sweep and a close back inside, and then that starts some kind of short for hourly distribution back down inside this range for sure. Uh, but probably won't be something that I would trade, because I'm just trying to get long and get up to here. But because of what I would need to see to short would be a sweep of 7 p.m. high, -4, and then if 11 o'clock closes back inside this range, then I can look for a short. So if I'm looking for, so say 11 o'clock, say this candle wicks it like this, we make a body, or hang on, it's got to be like this. There you go, close back inside the range, and then you have like a body like this, closing back down. What am I looking for in that next hour? I'm looking for at least this candle's low to go. Right, that would be my first target. Well, say we should have some kind of wick on here. So this low should go. So what I'm looking for is, I'm going to look for what? I'm going to look for 12 p.m. when 11 p.m. closes. I'm going to look for 12 p.m. to manipulate back up to this candle. I'm trading alongside the hourly. If we manipulate higher first, I then have time on my side, right? Because this is, I'm assuming, is going to be my hourly wick, and then I can target this hourly low, and then maybe 50% of this entire range. Then I'm trading on side of what the hourly candle is telling me. Now, if this next hourly candle closes above 7 p.m., then yeah, I mean, we're obviously going to push. We're going to push much higher up to that daily VI. But that's why you just wait, and your hourly candles will tell you everything. Right now, I only want to look for longs up to that 7 p.m. high. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You can't hear still? Oh. It's definitely on you then, because I think everybody else can, or we would have 36 other people yelling here. See, so let's go look at. All right, so if I'm just looking at this from like a 4 hour standpoint, let's go to what confirms this 4 hour low. This 4 hour low is safe. So we'll see if there's, yeah, was that what do we have here? A 15-minute breaker. Yep. Yeah, you can go to Twitter, or even the Tuba View as well. So yeah, this 4 hour swing, and then the 15-minute breaker we formed here. I would call this the breaker. It's the highest one. Would confirm that that 4 hour swing low is safe, and we're gonna have some kind of a retrace back to some kind of 4 hour high, which to me tells me, is that 7 p.m. high. But what told me that 4 hour swing, 15-minute breaker. And so far, not much manipulation on the hourly here. So we're either gonna stab down here and put in a little wick, or we're going to manipulate up first. Right now we're just chopping. The 1 minute's gotta look gross. Yeah. So what did gold do? Gold can't even get to a 25%, which tells me that this thing's ready to just expand this hour, right? Or if you're having a small wick and you're already, so what I'm looking for is like, I always mark my hourly opens, and I want to see obviously which, I want to see some kind of manipulation below or above. And then the moment that we start crushing back through that hourly open, like on the 5 minute, like, obviously we have this little wick here, but we start like displacing up past the open like that, or back through it after some kind of manipulation. That's also the sign that your hourly lower high is in, but will be confirmed with some kind of 5 minute breaker. Let's check NG. Did NG get up to a -2? Let's see. It got up to. Sorry, this is something I'm personally personally testing out. So yeah, we got up to -2 and came back. All right, but it didn't really work because we actually went higher. What else? Let's go check out ES. Is ES So ES closed. So ES closing above 7 p.m. already tells me that keeps me that keeps me bullish just for NQ right there. Why? Because ES would have swept this high and closed back inside of this range if it was truly bearish. Like I'm saying bearish as in like we're going all the way back down. Doesn't mean we can't get some kind of 50%. But like higher time frame, I'm expecting ES to go higher. It would not have closed above this high if not. Yep, it was the same on Friday as well. It sure was. But anybody have any questions? Might have to. So we'll wait and see if we get any kind of manipulation down here in the next 5-10 minutes. Right? I want to see that manipulation happen in the first. Even 20 minutes is pushing it. Like the first 15-20 minutes of the hourly candle, and then I want to look for that reversal. Right? I want this hourly wick to form and try to get long. Target -4. I'm still bearish. I'm still okay being bearish. I know there's an SMT, but I'm still okay being bearish because of that hourly close here on ES. Just telling me ES wants something higher, which tells me it's going to drag the good old lagging NQ with it. I keep deleting the fib. So 10 a.m. low, 10 a.m. high. Still sits right inside that 5-minute BISI, which I don't know if we get all the way down there. Less annoyed now. Good. So we just had another stab on the hourly open, which you'll see this a lot. You'll see like you'll think the hourly low is in, and then we'll stab it one more time to put in like a little bigger wick, and then that'll be like the thing that says, okay, now we're ready to expand. The other thing to watch here is we are hitting this 5-minute BISI, and we are going to close back above it with a little swing here, but it's not the prettiest. This is a 30-second breaker here, though. And count this as manipulation, but notice that we did not make the breaker here on the 30-second yet. Yeah, so if I'm looking at ES from a OHLC standpoint, let's see let's see what we're looking at. See, so ES even closed over on the hourly here. So that's already a sign that I wouldn't be extremely bearish here, right? If I'm expecting a retrace on ES, and I know I trade your short here, but uh, don't make any don't make any actions based on what I'm saying. But like from me and the way I would see it, I want to see this thing just sweep that previous hour high and then close back inside uh, to confirm like okay, I could have some kind of hourly short back down. But the fact we're closing over that hourly high just tells me, like in my mind and in the way I like to trade is I would avoid all shorts because of closing over that hourly high. Now, like does that's not the end all be all? Of course, you still got you do have a 5 minute order block to the downside here. That you do, but that's just one of my rules. It keeps me out of trouble. But yeah, -4 is just so close. We got the breaker. We got the breaker, and we took 10 a.m. high, so that there's no SMT. Damn, so we got the breaker. We just did not get any kind of retest of it. Like if we were not so high, I would think I would try even a retest of this breaker. I think holds because now I can define. Okay, I have 11 a.m. open. I have what can be classified as manipulation below. So my hourly low could be in here. Yep. And I'm getting that 5 minute swing out of this 5 minute BISI. Problem is there are just no entry there, right? I mean, we make that breaker, you're not going to long up here. You want to wait for price to at least retest that breaker. So that way your stop is, because your first target is going to be 10 a.m. open or 10 a.m. high. So you're looking like this. You're looking at something along these lines with the stop below here, right? Maybe you can either trim one or you can just go. I wouldn't break even, but I would be expecting 7 p.m. high and a -4 up here. But, so now there's no SMT on the hourly high. Should just mean that at least NQ is gonna push up here. So obviously I'm not taking this 30-second breaker now, right? I'm not taking that breaker now. Why? Because we already took that 10 a.m. high. Yeah. Yeah, agree. So like if it there will be times where I will short where I will like look for some kind of short to 25%, but it's got to be the right context. So what needs to happen first is I need the hourly to open up here, manipulate higher first, and then have some kind of CASD back down, and then I can just target low hanging fruit of a 25. Why? Because if I'm expecting this hourly candle to continue higher, I'm fading the higher frame order flow, but I know we should at least get to like 25% and then have some kind of continuation off for that. So anytime I'll short is that it's got to be that right context of open immediately takes the previous hour high, closes back inside. That tells me a pullback's coming, and then I can look for that 25%. That's the only time that I'll do it, and I rarely do it because I would rather just wait for it to dip to a 25 and then get long and be on the side of that hourly order flow. ES ain't really moving, and Q is. All right, where's our trigger at? The old trigger got deleted. It'd be 343.25. Which is this is what I'm talking about though. Like where you guys seen, I kind of talked about it earlier, where I'll wait for that 5 minute to close, we'll make the breaker. We'll go back up. We'll close above it, and then we'll come back and retest that breaker, and then we'll go. That's the same thing like what I was talking about on the 5 minute down here, right? We made this 5 minute breaker down here, which we actually never came back and retested, but we came back just for the unicorn here. We'll make that 5 minute breaker unicorn close above the hourly candle close, and then we'll come back, retest that breaker, and then we'll go. Kind of seeing that play out here just on the lower time frame with that 5 minute and then in that 30 second. But me personally, like we already took my first target, which would have been that 10 a.m. high. So that's why I'm not. That's why I would not be trying that. So it'd be really interesting to see. We take 7 p.m., which is obviously where I expect us, where we are going to go here. We take that, and then how does the hour do? Does the next hour close above here? If it does, then obviously that daily VI, which I think is still a little bit higher, would probably be just a slow trend day up to that. Which this is what happens lately. Like Mondays have been the best days. Like every Monday lately has been some kind of a nice clean trend. Oh, nice, Cisco. Yeah, yeah. I literally just went to Notion, typed in "make me a trading plan," and that's what it gave me, and I just filled it out, and I just keep it on my vertical monitor to the right here, so I just never forget anything. Yep, they sure can, Fran, because like you Monday's going to open up. It wants to start that weekly manipulation, right? It wants to start putting in that wick because the week has a lot of it has a lot of plans, right? It's got distribution to get started. So I mean that's why, like in my mind, it makes sense why Mondays can be absolutely great. Everyone says don't trade Monday, but statistically Mondays are always have always been my best days. All right, let's see if we CB. Yeah. So what we're looking for here with -4 is we're looking to trigger here, and then we'll see if we get a pullback, and then maybe we can enter. I think 11 a.m. open could be a good spot to try to get a contract long. Basically, a retest of that breaker. Yeah, that's exactly it, Doc. Yep. I I, I definitely can. I get behind that. Old darts long the -4. Nice. Everybody loves that -4. Uh, I don't. That's not a bad question, Cisco. Hope that do prop firms give live futures data on TradingView? I would imagine so. I would imagine it's the same as your prop firm accounts. Wow, we just CB'd. We just CB'd the CV. Oh, you do not have to. No, no. As long as you have an active prop firm connected to your to your TradingView, you do not have to pay extra on TradingView, like the $7 a month or whatever. You do not have to pay that. The data comes with that account as long as it's connected to it. Yeah, just data. Obviously, not a TradingView like subscription, but how am I trading the -4 setup off the higher time frame? I don't really, I don't really trade it off of the higher time frame. Not only if it has like context. So if like So say like we look for the -4. Say the -4 triggered, here. Maybe we trigger and then we have some kind of manipulation down to like 25 or so, and then I can look for a long here, taking it back up to where the actual -4 is. But like in terms of like trading it with a higher time frame, not really. I usually just stick to like the 5 minute or the 1 minute to kind of look for a long setup back to it. CB stands for cock block. Let's just we'll just be frank about it. Basically, because CB just means we call it the -4 CB model because we look for price. We noticed when we started we used to we used to just plot -4 like this because it was a good level that we knew price was going to go to. And then so many times we were long to it, and it would get within like 15 points of it, and would do something like this, and we would have a substantial pullback. So we just called it the cock block the cock block model. It's cock blocking us from taking that from taking our target, basically. Just a funny name for it. Yeah, sure. So the 30 second is it's essentially this. You can also use key prices and levels by this one right here. Key price and levels by by options. And it's the very bottom option for it. No pun intended. But you can just have it plot it automatically for you, or you can draw it, which I recommend you at least know how to draw it. But you basically it's real simple. All right, you're just gonna take your 30 second. It's your first 30 second candle of the day. I can't draw a fib to save my life. It's 30 second high and a low, and then obviously grab whatever your template is for it, and that'll plot your levels out. Which I don't need 1, 3. Or we're not looking at 1, 2, 3. We're only paying attention to -4. Then you can see that -4 lines up with what the indicator also shows. I personally trade with Lucid. Tradeify is my favorite one right now. I love their daily payouts, and with Funded Next and their Bold accounts. I recommend Tradeify's. Yeah, those three are probably my top three right now. A lot of people like my funded futures too, but I don't like I'm not a big fan of their CEO, so I haven't traded with them yet. That is true. That is true, friend, as well. Yep. All right, so we're still holding that 30 second breaker here. 30 second breaker off that 5 minute. But this just looks like madness that I don't want to be a part of right now. Let's see how the double sweep did today. Yeah, that was a good sell signal. That was a good buy signal. Those are bad buy signals. Now let's check the hourly if there's anything good overnight. Yeah, the sell up there I gave at 2 a.m. was good. Oh, that was last week. Disregard. All right. So yeah, we're just chopping it up here. Like I said, I don't see why we don't get up to a -4 here. We're just way too close to it now, and that 7 p.m. high. What's CS doing? Just absolutely nothing. Wham's dumping. Nice. All right. All right, so let's see if we can get a trigger here. Trigger needs to be 15 points from that 58.25, so it needs to be 43.25. Now we'll see if I don't know if we're gonna dump back down. Like so, usually we look for the 15 to hit and then a retrace, but we already kind of have been getting retraces. So there's really nothing else to come down and like mitigate, retap before going up. But before going higher, can we? Yeah, we sure can. But I mean, we'll see. Do not short until this -4 gets hit, BMAC. We're way too close now. After the -4, man, we can definitely see some kind of a reversal for sure. But overall, pretty good session. Obviously, just no trades for me, which is okay. We'll come back to the PM and we'll see if we get anything. We'll see if we get anything. Like I said, there could be a trade here with a -4, but after we hit -4, we're probably gonna hop off the charts. Go grab some lunch. Think a death count at Asia High. Yeah, yeah. Most likely co-op. Most likely. Maybe we are taking our sweet time to get there though. So. All right, so there's the 15-point trigger, which tells us that -4 should absolutely get hit now. Question is, how can we get involved here? So you see here, this is hindsight, but it's the same concept that we look for, right? 5 minute sweeps low, close above, and you have and you'll see it here. I just like to show it so you guys can like start seeing these. But you see 30-second breaker inside of your 30-second fair value gap here would be your 30-second unicorn off of that 5-minute swing there. That could have been your entry. Yeah, so notice like I came into this morning, basically just I was leaning more bearish just based off of what the hourly candle was doing at that time with this hourly swing point here, which this hourly swing point this wick wasn't there yet, so like this hourly swing point was staying down, and then obviously immediately changed bias when we get this hourly bullish candle like this. So it's like just paying attention, your hourly candles will tell you guys everything. So we did take the 7 p.m. high. So the stat of 7 p.m. is like 98% chance that 7 p.m. high or low will not be will not be high or low of the day. That stat holds true today. Question would be, do we push a little more for a -4? We have a pullback first. Right, I want to see at least like a 20-point pullback, which I don't think we're gonna get. Like I said, we've already taken all these highs, came back and mitigated everything down here. So chances of us getting a good pullback here are probably very slim. Nice spicy, nice little base hits. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to stream PM. Teach me. Prices will have to get good. I'll come back for PM if we're getting like a good if we're getting like a good 4 hour swing point down. Maybe I'll come back. Or if we're getting like a good hourly swing down. Uh, but I don't actually. We're probably not going to get a 4 hour swing point down because this is your 10 a.m. candle. I mean, unless we would have to retrace all the way back down here to get a bearish 4 hour, which I guess is not it's not unrealistic, but if that happens, then yeah, we're totally bearish. But did we hit -4? We hit -4. I think we did, right? Yeah, we love tapped it to the tick. Let's see if we push up through it though, because anybody get long there to -4 somehow. Like I said, the only thing I seen was this, and it was that 5-minute swing in hindsight. That's it. Or obviously this one. This was this was the better one. This was the one off of the hourly manipulation. But again, you guys still got to see it play. 5-minute swing. There's a little breaker in there. Take it long. But yeah, hope you guys learned something today. Like I said, love teaching this stuff. But if you guys have anybody have any questions, I'll come back for PM only if it's clean. We'll see. We'll see what lunch gives us. But yeah, pretty simple. Yeah, hope you guys learned something. That's the big thing. Sorry, there's no trades taken, but pretty much called everything the way that it happened, just based off of candle closures. It's all you need, guys. But all right, guys, appreciate everybody that hung out. We had a good amount of people in here today, so really appreciate that. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and the most important thing, hope you guys learned something. So with that, take care, trade safe, and we'll see you guys either this afternoon or tomorrow. Oh, peace.